Yet another domino has fallen in the potential demise of synchronized swimming at the collegiate level, and it's taking place at Canisius College. After years of national success, the college announced in March that the sport will be reclassified from varsity to the club level. And following transition season next year, the team will lose all funding from the school and the program will be finished.
We were called in, actually it was during the day on a Tuesday. Our coach texted all of us and she said, we have a team meeting tonight, and wouldn't give us anything more than that. So at 9 o'clock we were all on the pool deck and we all kind of filtered in, and as we were coming in you could tell my coach had bad news for us. And once everybody was there, she turned around and told us, and I was shocked because we were under the impression that the team would have at least a few more seasons, and especially coming off how well we did at nationals and how well our program's been doing, I was really surprised that they dropped us at a time when we were doing so well.
We met at 9 p.m. on the deck of our pool, and she told the team. It was shocking. It's still numb. I mean, I don't think it's really going to hit us until I leave or they have to figure out what they're doing. But it was just such an unfortunate situation. It really was just so bad.
Kind of like, you would think that someone died. It was almost funny because some people were just staring into nothing, and some people were quaking, and then some people were just looking down. But I didn't start crying until I saw my friend crying next to me, because we realized that we would be going our separate ways after this. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to recreate. Me and Lena both, we almost had identical college processes. We both had our top two were Wheaton College, and then which is very expensive, in this school and obviously other schools. But we chose this school out of other schools, and we've already gone through the college process. Why would we go through it again? Why would we put that stress on ourselves? So it's a nightmare.
Now they have to try to figure out a whole new plan. They had no idea to wait this long and then to be oh, well, I guess, if you want to transfer, try to do it. Well, no. How are they supposed to do it with less than a month left of school? There's finals going on. They have their academics to focus on, yet they're trying to network and do their own work to get in somewhere else. I feel so bad, and it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
I think right now my plan is to stay another year because transferring isn't really an option right now. But after that, I'm probably going to be going to a school where I can focus more on my major instead of just synchro.
Had we known before, I mean, this is obviously a controversy between the athletic department, synchro, and the our athletic peers, that why weren't we informed sooner? Because all these application deadlines are passed. Because I'd like to transfer to Stanford, but as it is now, it's extremely hard for me to. I have to pull strings with admissions. The coach, does the coach even want me? There are questions about that too. So it's just kind of hard to, it's hard to transfer, but we're going to. So even if it was just 2 weeks, that was after our season ended, if they wanted to play that card, we still could have applied.
Do you think there was any intention on their part to keep their students here or no?
It crossed my mind.
Yeah, it crossed our mind that they wanted our money, but then I just think it was a lack of care and a lack of respect that they were well, we'll just tell them then.
Honestly, I see both sides. I think as a senior, and just in general being in the sport, it's going to be personal for us. So yeah, we might be a little bit more angry about it and might make it a bigger deal than it is, but that's because it means something to us. And I've been in the sport for over 16 years. So yeah, it's going to seem personal and it's going to be a big deal. And I think that's okay. And then, but also looking at the way they handled it, financially, I get it. But the way they handled it in terms of respect and timing, it was wrong and it was off.
How disrespected do you feel? Not only you, but as a team.
Yeah, as a team.
The most in my life.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Disrespected.
For sure.
Why is that? Obviously, but
These people are more than twice my age, and they don't have the courage to tell me that my program can't be here anymore. And then you have an 18-year-old coming and saying, okay, well now you need to help me with my college process. You need to help me explain to my parents why this isn't happening anymore. But in the end, you lack to do any of those things.
We do compete at a much higher level than any of the other varsity sports here at Canisius do. Not any disrespect towards the other teams, but we have had swimmers. I've gone to Olympic trials. We've had swimmers that get All-American every year. We had a national champion this year. We do bring results, and it is a high caliber meet. In regards to the small number of swimmers at varsity programs, these girls that are at the varsity programs are Olympic level swimmers. They're international champions. They're the top swimmers in the country, if not the world. Yes, there are a small number of teams, but those small number of teams are very strong. We do compete against programs that have brand new swimmers, but there's just as many teams that have very strong swimmers. There are some very strong club teams. University of Florida, for example, is one. Mm-hmm. And just because there's a small number of varsity teams, that doesn't lessen the level of competition that we go against.
You know what? You have to take it into perspective, and yeah, we may not have as many people in the sport, but you also have to think with our sport, the people that are in it are good. You know, mm-hmm. The people that are going to the Olympics and are on national teams for different countries are the ones we're competing against because they want to come. They might not be able to get the academic, teachings and schooling elsewhere, so they come to the U.S. So we're competing against those top caliber swimmers. So it may not be thousands of swimmers. We've kind of weeded out maybe the bad ones, and we're competing against the top caliber swimmers in the country. So it's not easy, and as much as, it may seem, oh, okay, you have less to compete against, so it's easier for you guys to do well. Well, yeah, but we still work our butts off, and to come top 4 in the country is huge. And I just don't think people understand that the caliber of swimming we're competing against. And
it is a smaller sport, and it's a younger sport than most sports that are out there and the sports that are at this school. And I think either way, we're still competing with Olympians, which should give it some kind of quality.
Where do you see the future of the sport heading?
I try to be optimistic and say hopefully one day. It's very hard to say that. I guess the problem that Synchro has is if you're a varsity level swimmer, you want to go to a varsity team, an already established team with a coach and with a program that has proven itself. It's very difficult to be a varsity level swimmer and say, I'd like to start my own varsity team. So it's a struggle to make that decision, and I know that we've had one school add that they're NAIA instead of NCAA at Lindenwood University, and that was probably one of the biggest developments in collegiate synchro in the past couple of years, and I think we need more programs like that. It's just we need to have coaches that are willing to put in the time to do that. We need to have swimmers that are willing to kind of go out there and start a new program, which is the hard thing, and that's something I know they're working towards. But
I think with the sport, cutting our team is going to be a huge downfall for the program in general, for collegiate level, but also just for synchro in general, for the world span. You know what? I think the sport's slowly dying, unfortunately. Unless there's some big change and kind of epiphany, and something's going to happen, and people are going to start joining the sport again. I think if it is, it's going to take a long time to get back. But unfortunately, it may be falling off the map, which is very sad to say.